Trace, how's camp gone? And it feels like you've gotten a lot of reps out there at tight end. Just how do you feel yourself adjusting to that playbook?
Yeah, getting here in the spring, adjusting to just how the practices are ran, the tempo, and just the guys up front, it kind of helped me to, once I get in camp, having that under my belt, and really just focusing more on technique, strain to the echo of the whistle, and just the little details of things. So it's been going great.
What brought you to Ole Miss specifically?
Yeah, just their heavy tight end influence. Last year obviously they had Priestcorn and Daquan, kind of going 1A, 1B, heavy 12 personnel. So just Coach Cox is a great coach, amazing offensive mind, along with a great tight end coach. So he kind of told me, he's like, we're really going to lean on our tight ends this season. So that was really intriguing for me.
What have you seen from Caleb Odom since he's kind of joined your room there?
Yeah, he's definitely taken on the role, transitioning from wide receiver to tight end. That's what I did. I was a receiver in high school, and then they moved me to tight end my freshman year. So it's you kind of got to man up, get in the box and stuff. And I think he's been doing a great job trying to embrace that. It's just a whole different position because you kind of got to do both. You got to block, and you obviously got to beat safeties as a receiver. So I think he's been doing a great transition, kind of blending the two worlds together.
As far as comparing this offense to New Mexico's, what's the learning curve been like? Are there any similarities?
Every offense is similar in a way. It's kind of just the specific signs, signals, and what to call the plays. So that's kind of an adjustment, just like any offense would. But they kind of rely basically on the run game, heavy run game, and then quick passes. So it's been sort of similar. So it's been a smooth transition.
And if you don't mind sort of scouting yourself a little bit for us, where do you feel like your biggest strengths are?
Yeah, I think definitely in the line of scrimmage, getting big and physical against the DNs, and just blocking, and intermediate pass game too. I'm not a guy that's going to take the top off of an offense, but I can run a 10-yard dig, 15-yard dig, and catch the ball for a first down easily.
I guess almost now 4 weeks of camp. How have you seen Hayden Bradley, freshman, kind of evolving this month?
Yeah, me and him are really close. I've kind of decided to take him under my wing, kind of show him how a vet does things, how you take care of your body, and how you're supposed to kind of feel your body. It's his first fall camp. He wasn't really sure how it was going to go. So I've kind of been bringing him along. But he's been doing a great job as just a freshman, as an early enroll freshman. He's very mature. He wants to play. He wants to get on that field. He's super eager, which is a great quality to have in a young guy. But especially the past 2 days with us being pretty thin, he's stepped up and embraced his role, and he's been doing a great job.
What's kind of your takeaways or impression of Austin as a leader in this whole offense so far?
Yeah, he's as talented as ever. So put that aside, his leadership is amazing. Getting guys together off the field, especially on the field, when things aren't going the best, he always calls us up as an offensive unit and just says, hey guys, come on, next play mentality. We got to keep going. We got to keep finishing. And, you got to have a quarterback like that. I know Jackson was like that. I wasn't here for that, but I know he was a great leader. Austin's the same way.
How quickly did you get comfortable here? I feel like you got to be pretty comfortable to be a new guy and then take someone under your wing, right?
Yeah. It was a little difficult. Obviously transferring, that was my first time. I graduated from New Mexico, so I spent 4 years there. But I kind of had a chip on my shoulder, and I knew I was an older guy, so I had to just blend in from the start, and me and Hayden got close like as soon as I got here, and I could see the potential in him, and obviously Coach Cox and the staff do, of course, too. So I just thought, as a vet, that's kind of things we got to do for guys like that.
What's the biggest difference between Albuquerque and Oxford?
Oh man, probably the climate, and that's the hardest thing during fall camp. Practicing in a climate where it's 0% humidity, 85, sunny outside with a nice breeze. It's tough coming to the south, and it's 95 and 70% humidity. So I love it here. I'm from Dallas, Texas, so it's kind of in the middle of both. It's about 9 hours on each side, so it's kind of the best of both worlds there. This is a little more deep south, but you know, that's where my family's from, so I'm really loving it here.
Questions?